All right, seventh graders, here we go. 1.3, example 2. And now we're just adding an extra step here. So this is the same thing. You just have to do it once and then do it twice. So we're going to go left to right with adding and subtracting. So I'm starting with -7 minus -12. And I'm going to add the opposite. So plus 12. And I end up with, here is my -7 plus 12. I'm adding the opposite. So I'm going to end up with 5 from this section, and I end up with 5 minus 14. Then, now I have this last step here. I'm going to add the opposite plus -14, and you end up with -9. So just breaking it down into two different steps. Just like the last example 1, break it down into this one. Once you get your answer, then you have that answer minus 14. You should be good to go. Take a look at some more here. So we have -11 minus 5 minus
Find
-8. So we're going to
-11
break this
minus
down
5
and start with just
minus
-11
-8.
minus
First,
5.
let's rewrite our problem. We have -11 minus 5 minus -8. So to work through this problem, we will go from left to right and do one operation at a time. So let's start with -11 minus 5. To subtract two integers, we need to add the opposite. So we have -11 plus the opposite of 5, which is -5. Then we subtract -8. So now we have addition of two integers with the same sign. So to do that, we add the absolute values of the two numbers. So we add 11 and 5, which is 16. Then we use the common sign. They're both negative numbers, so the common sign is negative. So we have -16. Then we subtract -8. So now we have -16 minus -8. Again, let's rewrite so we add the opposite. -16 plus the opposite of -8 is +8. So now we have addition of integers with different signs. Remember, we need to subtract the number with the lesser absolute value from the one with the greater absolute value. So 8 has a lesser absolute value than 16. 16 minus 8 is equal to 8. And then we use the sign from the number with the greater absolute value. We said 16 has the greater absolute value. That number is negative, so we keep the negative sign. So our answer is -8. So we went from -11 minus 5 minus -8 and found the answer of -8.
All right, remember, if you need to pause the video at any time to catch up, feel free. Let's take a look at some of these together. So -9 minus 16, if we start with that, we're going to end up with -25. Minus 8 more would be -33. So -4 minus 20 is going to be -24. Minus 9 more would be -33. And then 0 minus 9 is -9. Minus -5 would be +5, would be -4. Then we have -8 minus -6, which is actually +6. So we have, that's -2 minus 0 would be -2. 15 minus -20 is the same as +20. So that's going to be 35. Minus 20 would be 15. -14 minus 9 would be -23. minus 36 more would be negative 59. And that is how you solve all those. If you use a number line to check your answers, you can, but don't forget to add the opposites. If you're not sure how we got some of these, please come see me in the Google Meets.